The permits were...
Did you obtain permits? Answer
Yes.
my question,
Yes, no
please.
question.
Yes.
Did the permits say the name of Raul Julia Levy, or did the permits say R&E?
Sir, Raul Julia Levy.
Okay, so you obtained the permits in your own personal name, not in the name of the company.
Sir, the government said the permits are for you to do this documentary, not for a company. They're for you. They refused to put it under the company name.
Who refused?
It's a presidential order, sir. What do you mean, who refused?
The president?
The president of Mexico.
The president of Mexico.
Yes, sir. And the archaeologists.
Wait a second. Let's be clear about this. The president of Mexico.
The president's office and the archaeologists.
The president's office personally said
Yes.
to you
Yes to me.
that you cannot place the name of R&E production on the permit in addition to your name or instead of your name. It has to be simply your name. That's what you're testifying
I'm
to?
responsible for the film.
No, answer me the question. Is that what you're testifying to?
I'm testifying that I was responsible
No.
for the permits.
No, that's not what you said. You said the president's office specifically said that they would not issue permits except under your name. Now, who in the president's office said that? Do you have a writing of any kind?
No, sir.
There's no writing of any
We're
kind.
talking about exclusive information.
Okay. So who said that?
The president's assistants.
What's the president's assistant's name that said that?
I have to look for the name. I spoke to several people, sir, at the president's office.
And you never got anything in writing?
No, sir.
Did you talk to the president himself?
Yeah, several times.
And the president himself told you that it had to be in your name, not in the
The
name
president
of
told me, yes, at the presidential inauguration in Mexico City, yes.
He said that the permits had to be in your name.
He says, you're responsible for that information. It's too...
No, that's not what I'm asking you. I'm not asking who's responsible for the information. I'm asking you, did the president tell you specifically permits will only be issued in your name, not in the name?
Yes, because I was the producer and responsible for the picture, yes.
No, you were not.
I was the producer.
Was R&E Productions, sir. Is that true? The producer was R&E Productions.
I was
not you.
the producer of the film.
No, the production company.
I was the
is
producer of the film.
Semantics. He was a producer. Read your contract.
So the president said to you, because the president of Mexico
Yes.
said to you, because you are the producer of this film.
Sir, it was my relationship. Don't start twisting things.
I'm not twisting.
That's my relationship, and that's it.
I'm asking you a simple question.
Sir, I answer your question. No more questions, please. I answered the question. That's it.
And when did the president's office say that to you?
Objection. Say what?
When did the president's office tell you that the permit could only be issued in your name and not in the name of R&E Productions, the producer of the film?
They didn't say R&A Production, sir. You're twisting things.
When did they say it could only be issued in your name?
Oh, they said that several times.
When?
For the past 6 years, sir.
Did you ever advise Elizabeth Terrio in writing that the permits would be issued in your name, not in the name of the production
I told
company?
Elizabeth Terrio many times.
You told her that many times?
Yes, many times.
And did she say that was okay?
Elizabeth didn't care. She was just wanted to do the film.
She didn't care. You specifically recall telling Elizabeth Terrio.
I answered your question, yes, many times.
Many times. You never in writing, though. You wouldn't put in
Objection.
never in
Why are
writing.
you going to harass him?
I'm not harassing.
He answered your question.
You never did.
I answered your question, that's it.
You never did.
I answered your question.
Why are you acting like he had to do it in writing when they had a relationship?
Why-
He had no duty to put it into writing.
Excuse me, but you're not testifying. You
Well,
want to
you're
take an
trying to
oath?
testify and quit
I'm not
harassing the
testifying, I'm
client.
asking him a question.
You didn't put it in writing. Come on.
I said you
Back
didn't
off.
put it in writing. Is that
I
correct?
answered your question.
You didn't.
I answered your question.
Okay. When you wrote this book, how long is the book, by the way?
I wrote the book, I think, about 10 years ago.
How long is it?
About 10 years ago.
How long is it? How
many
long is the
pages?
book? How
Oh.
many pages? Not.
Sorry. It's about 220 pages.
Is it fact or fiction?
That book is based on some.
It's a yes or no question, yes or no.
No, it's not yes or no. It's either fact or fiction.
Yeah, fact or fiction, all right? Is it fact or
It's
fiction?
because it's a mix of both.
Okay.
It's a mix of fact and fiction.
Yes.
Which part is fiction?
Monsters and, children flying, with swords and killing monsters.
And which part is factual?
The Popol Vuh, the Mayan Bible.
The Mayan Bible?
Yes, sir, the Mayan Bible.
What does the book say about the Mayan Bible?
Not gonna tell you
Objection.
more.
We're talking about a 220-page book.
Does the book talk about extraterrestrials?
No.
Doesn't mention
No,
extraterrestrials.
sir, the
at
book
all.
does not mention the word extraterrestrial in any way. Absolutely not.
What does it say about the Mayan culture, just in general?
Objection. It's a 220-page book. How can you expect him to answer in a question?
I don't expect.
What does it say about the Mayan culture?
I want a general.
Overbroad, ambiguous, vague.
I want a general statement of what its position is with regard to the Mayan culture. Does it say it's a
Objection's
brilliant
vague.
culture? Does it say it had a
That's a
lot of?
question. You can ask that question.
Well, I can't surmise every question I can ask.
It
I'm
calls
asking.
for-
He
it
wrote a
calls for a
book.
narrative.
It does not. It
Yeah, it
asks a
calls for a
simple
narrative.
question. What is the general
cannot
premise?
summarize.
What is the premise of the book with regard to the Mayan culture?
To save the world, for the children to go back in time 4,000 years into the past, bring the Mayan, the sacred Mayan book is called the Popol Vuh, and save the world, save humanity from total destruction.
Purple blue, what are you saying?
Popol Vuh,
Spell that.
P-O-L, P-O-P-O-L, V as in Victor, U-H, Popol Vuh.
So the concept is that by finding the Mayan Popol Vuh, you are going to have the children save the world. Is that the
Bring
concept?
the book back to present time. Give
And
it
use
to,
the
give,
book.
give it to humanity. So humanity will save themselves from total destruction, because we're a destructive race, and that's
Okay, you're going on and on.
Is the premise of the book that the human race would end but for finding and bringing forward?
Objection misstates the evidence.
I'm asking a question. I'm not misstating anything. I'm asking a question. I'm simply asking, is the premise that the earth would destroy itself absent the children finding the books and bringing the knowledge
the book
forward?
contains the knowledge and what needed to be done by humans in order to correct whatever we're doing wrong.
And if it's not corrected, earth will end.
Objection.
Is that correct?
Objection.
What's the objection?
Why don't you ask him specifically if it says in the book somewhere that the earth is going to end?
That's what I'm asking.
Does it say in the book the earth is going to end if the
If
Popol
The
Vuh-
world doesn't end. It's humans who end. Humans will eradicate themselves. The world is still here. The planet is going to be here. It's us who are going to disappear if we don't correct whatever it is that we're doing wrong.
So that's the premise of the
Yeah.
book, that if we don't correct it,
If we don't correct, whatever it is that we're doing wrong as humans, yes.